I was in Iowa in this small town called Marshalltown. Small town, 28,000 people, about an hour north of Des Moines. And 10 years ago, there was a ICE raid, an immigration raid, at a meatpacking plant at 7 o'clock in the morning. And so these people were at work, and
so they went off to work and never came home. Is that
exactly?
Right?
Yeah. And so basically, a lot of things went wrong that day. The first of which was, they were leading the 100 undocumented immigrants out of the plant, still covered in, the pork blood and everything that they had. They were working that day.
Yeah.
There were reports of women being dragged by hair, people jumping into vats of oils and fats just to run away from this. Also, ICE did not inform the families of those being deported. And so basically that night, community leaders had to go around town going door to door to find unattended children.
Oh, good Lord.
And it was very dramatic and very heartbreaking. And so I went back to Marshalltown 10 years later. This happened in 2006. 10 years later to interview some of the families who were affected. One woman who was an undocumented immigrant who had got an immigration lawyer who eventually, got her some sort of permanent residency, but one family who was completely separated. They, half of them went back to Mexico. It was just a really terrible situation, and now that there are ICE raids happening, the old wounds are coming back.
Just opening up the old wounds for sure. Right.
Yeah, it's just kind of rubbing the salt in there, and I talked to children of those men and women who were detained and arrested, and it just brings back painful memories. Like, just for one example, I talked to one woman who found out her uncle had been deported that day because she saw his photo on the front page of the Des Moines Register.
Oh, no.
They weren't told about it at all, right?
Yeah.